Good morning, guys. How are you doing? How are you holding up after the last 3 weeks we've had? Um, Today is my 49th birthday. So, I'm just going to chat randomly. So far in life, I've learned that, especially in the last 5 to 10 years, that George Carlin was right. You got one group of people who pretty much own everything, and this country is a coast-to-coast mall. Coast to coast, north, south, east, west. It's a shopping mall. It was a beautiful place when we stole it, hijacked it. Now it's a cesspool of pedophile politicians, ignorant, narcissistic public, and it's just gone to shit. There's a lovely thought for 49th birthday, the last birthday of 40 years, the 40 decade. I've watched the political atmosphere just completely go to shit. I mean, just voted in, call it a day, done. People want to blame politicians. I don't see how you can blame politicians when immediately the first knee-jerk reaction is blame politicians. No. The public, the voting public, should be blaming themselves. Why? Here's part of the conversation I had with my cousin Karen about a week ago, and here's my conclusion. We, at some point, let our government go astray. They've gone from the path of righteousness to the path of decadence, pedophilia, and just whatever makes you happy. You want to go bomb a country? Go bomb it. Never mind the fact that it's going to cost millions and millions of dollars. You want to do it, go do it. We have allowed these individuals to do this. Now, to a point, I say it's the voting public's fault. Because to a point, it is. We have our news media. They used to be owned by over 30 different companies. Is now owned by 6 companies. 6 families. These are the same families that run the banks. They run the oil companies. They run everything. Then they have this one tip in pyramid. I'll get into the 13 bloodlines. Dynastic bloodlines in another video. But these are the same people who own everything. They control what we see. They control what we think. They have these people who go to college, pay millions of dollars to learn how to read a piece of paper and tell you and me what we're supposed to think. And we just tolerate it. We just tolerate it. Juggle 2, 4 part-time jobs in between, squeeze in a few facts that are actually opinions. Because we are so busy with our day-to-day lives that we don't stop. We're not supposed to stop and question. We're supposed to be so busy, so Sudanese, that we don't stop and think. We're supposed to be smart enough to run machines, do a little bit of paperwork, but not smart enough to sit at a table, talk about how we're being screwed. We're supposed to be smart enough to get a home loan, but not to see that 1 or 2 missed payments can get it foreclosed. And it just adds up, as we are seeing with people right now. Yes, the cat's here. This is actually second take of this video because she was all over the place and my mind was all over the place. Yes. Oh. She is fun to have around. She keeps the dog in line. Anyway, like I was saying, it's not the politicians that suck. Alright, I gotta pause this and deal with her. Alright. We're back. We got our attitude adjusted. Our education system is another part of this issue. We are raised to think communism bad, socialism bad, America good. Everybody's bad except for America and our allies. This is part of the paradigm that has taken me over 20 years to finally see and to understand. And I still feel like there's elements of it I don't get. We have, how can I put this, reduced the level of education that kids get from a public education to the point that kids can barely pass tests, so they lower the score. Lower the score, your IQ, your national IQ drops about 10 points, but hey, they're all passing at least. And we step back and we wonder why our countries, who used to be so far behind us, graduating more scientists, more engineers. Why are other countries getting so far ahead of us? Why is their standard of living so much higher than ours is? Countries that used to have a lower standard of living than we have, or so we were told. So that's the whole thing. We have been bullshitted into believing that America is the exceptional country. We are the exceptional. We're not. And at this point, at 49 years, I finally see we're not exceptional. We as a society suck. Okay, we suck. We raise politicians. We turn a blind eye. We buy into the everything's going to be okay. Meanwhile, they're bombing countries that do absolutely nothing in the world to us except exist. And we do nothing. We don't do anything. Because we're not told. We are not told the damage this country, this government has done while we were pursuing the newest phone, the newest TV, the newest car. I can remember the ads for Christmas, December to remember. Go in debt. It'll be fun. Get a mortgage twice what you make. It'll be fun. To sum this up, if we really wanted, and I've learned this the last few years, if we really want to change this country, we have to look past these politicians. They're nothing but distraction. Forget about the celebrities. Gene Simmons, I love Kiss, first generation Kiss music. But we gotta look past these folks. They're a distraction. We need to look past all this and see what's really going on. See what's really in front of us. We gotta get out of our comfort zone and see if the Federal Reserve is running things. These think tanks, Council of Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, that these are the folks that are actually running things. That these families like Roosevelt, Rockefeller's, Rothschilds, Morgan, all these families are the ones running things. They bought and paid for this country long ago. And until we finally face this, confront this, and be willing to stand together, there's zero hope for future generations here. And it absolutely breaks my heart to say that, but I don't see any turning back. There's no amount of test score requirements dropping. There's no magic number of part-time jobs to juggle. No. Until we stand as a whole society, we stop sucking as a society. We stop chasing the Kardashians, keeping up with the Kardashians. We start putting these politicians that are supposed to represent us on a choke collar and not be afraid to yank that collar when they get out of line. I don't see it changing. So overall, 49 years, in the last 20 or so, I should say 5, because I used to buy into this whole right vs left, R vs D, conservative, liberal. It's all a distraction. That's all it is. Just one great big distraction, like this cat here. Only she's better. Yes, you are. Until we start seeing past these things, and we stop looking at each other in terms of political alliance, racial alliance, social alliance, but as Americans, nothing's going to change. We have to get past all that. We have to be willing to take these bastards down, to run them out of our country, to take it back. Alright guys, that is what I've learned in the last at least 5 years alone. We are many. There are more of us than there are of these elites. I'll see you tomorrow.